And Kyle Lowry, man, you just fleeced these guys. How much are they paying you again? Like 1 for 6, 3 points, and that's just like you don't even bat an eye because it doesn't surprise you. Ugh.
Tyler, I've been waiting for a long time to hold on to this. And we are back.
Back again for another episode of the Hoop Plug.
Yes, sir. And as always, on this illustrious Tuesday, you'll be getting this on a Wednesday. Rocking with you. It's your boy Firas in the building. And I got with me my main man, Stir Fry Ty.
Yes, sir. I got to start out this podcast, another episode, by giving a shout out to a former guest, Jordan Chrysostom of Virginia Tech. Appeared on the podcast about a month and a half ago. He's competing in the doubles NCAA tournament right now, this day. So wishing him luck in the tourney as that gets underway.
Yeah, big shouts out to you, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out with throwing the sound effects. Yeah. But yeah, shouts out Jordan, man. And thanks again for being on the pod. We appreciate you, bro. Good luck in the tournament.
Word. And we got to jump into this, right? Because we know Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals. We're almost at a crescendo, about to get to the NBA Finals, but we got to stop in the city of brotherly love because they embarrassed themselves, right? City of Philadelphia, you're hitting all-time low. And I'm not talking about getting bounced out of the second round. I'm talking about the lamest move I've seen in a long time. You know, for us, people get on our generation a lot. They say millennials this, millennials that, second place trophies. You know, they put that on us. But really, it's our parents that's doing that, okay? And that lameness was just exhibited for everyone to see because the council, City of Philadelphia, named Joel Embid MVP. And not the one that Jokic got, the most valuable Philadelphian.
Man,
can't make this up.
That's as corny as it gets, man. And I don't think Joel wanted that. You know what I'm saying? That's the sad part about it, right? Is that Philly, like we know Philly to do, make everything about them. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, whether I agree with it or not, Jokic was the league MVP. And you give this man, Joel Embiid, some sorry-ass award after he gets bounced out of the playoffs, finishes basically second fiddle in two major awards or two major things important to him. Philly really wanted to reward him. They would have kept Jimmy Butler.
Facts. And, like, I don't really know the big names in Philadelphia, but he's not even the most valuable Philadelphian. If he was, maybe he would have got y'all to the conference finals. Maybe.
At least. Shoot. Damn. I mean, listen, shouts out to the Celtics, bro, because they knocked down the Bucks, and that's why I expected to be running through these playoffs. So they could have done that. The Sixers, I mean, they could have knocked off the Heat. But, you know, no shouts out to James Harden because I was basically gassing this man up all season, waiting for him to go off. Never happened. Folded in the clutch. Went from the beard to Ben Simmons in less than 10 games.
Yeah, and me and Firas, like we gotta do a little piece on James Harden and the decline because it's been a fast one. So yeah, stay tuned for that if you're a Philly hater. We got you.
Yeah,
all right.
Between the trades and the fat suits. But yeah, sorry, continue.
Let's move on to the Western Conference because we got some very meaningful games taking place in both Dallas and Golden State. But the main one right now, the one that's happened by the time you're listening to this, is Game 4 in Dallas. Luka fighting for their lives. Klay 1 win away from going to his 6th straight NBA Finals. Man, Luka's magical run. What's up? You about to make fun of me trying to figure out how many fingers?
No. Okay, why Klay? Why not the rest of the squad? Is it because he's been injured?
Because Klay got hurt. Yeah, Klay got hurt in the finals against Toronto and hadn't played again till this season. He don't miss.
Silly question. Oh, you're not wrong though. You're not wrong. How could I question Klay's greatness, man? Shouts out to his dog too. But sorry, bro. I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
Wait, I got a spicy take on Klay. Actually, it's not even that spicy. But Klay is obviously we know he missed 2 years. He's back now. I don't think he's been that good this postseason. But the one thing about Klay Him and Steph are still leading the playoffs in 3-pointers made, even if it's not with a great percentage. And we know Klay's not playing the defense he once was. But the one thing about Klay is when the lights get brightest, he's going to turn it up. Like we saw it in Game 6. I think once we get to the finals, I'm putting Golden State in the finals. That's not a shocker. They're up 3-0. No one's lost.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a couple games like, yo, man, Klay is back. It's going to happen because it's just that's what Klay is, man. When he gets going, it's when the lights are the brightest.
100%, man, 100%. And although I was quick to agree with you in the sense of he's not there, I'm also quick to agree with you with your stance, man. Klay is just one of those guys that he's a firecracker. He can go off any second, you know what I mean? He hasn't been his most consistent, especially in these last playoff games. He had, like you said, Game 6, which we know that's where Klay loves to show up, right? With that being said, I don't expect this trend to stay up. Same thing with Steph. Steph has been going off as of late, but honestly, he's continued it again from the beginning to the end of the playoffs, and obviously we're not at the end quite yet. He hasn't been his most consistent as the playoffs have gone along. Like in this round, we've seen he has been pretty dominant for the most part. But in those earlier rounds, very good matchup for him. But Jordan Poole, Draymond, a lot of these other guys, even Klay at times, were really carrying the load for the Golden State Warriors at times. So based off this series and the way that it's going off, I expect Steph to basically show up for the rest of the playoffs and the finals, you know, regardless of who they play. And like you said, and I agree with you, we all expect them to be there. So, yeah, that's how I feel about Klay. Also kind of brought Steph in it because how can you talk about one brother without the other?
Oh, of course. And speaking of showing up, man, we got Luka in an elimination game. What are you thinking? I'm gonna say 45. I'm saying 45 points tonight. Only exception being injury or a blowout.
Yeah. I think Luka's gonna bring it. I think he's gonna give us a 38-point triple-double. Because you know what I'm saying, he's got to do it on every end for this team to win, right? I see my boy Jalen Brunson coming out with a light 25 piece. It's gonna be easy to him. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm playing. But no, I honestly see the Mavs stealing this game. It's at home. Not to say they're going to make a major comeback in this series, but Luka is one of those guys. He's a pride guy. He's a competitive guy. Like he's thinking like how I think guys like LeBron and Kobe think at the beginning of their careers. How is this going to impact my legacy, right? He don't want to be talking about getting swept in no conference finals at any point in his career, you know? So I think he's going to come out. He's going to show out. Wouldn't be surprised if he scores more than that, but expect Luka to get a triple-double tonight. And I won't be surprised if they steal the win. They don't have momentum, but it's their last game at home, and this is the farthest this Mavericks team has gotten in a long time. And with a roster like this, man, you got to feel good about it. So I think they'll steal this game, go back to Golden State, and bow out in 5.
Oof, I like it. I agree with you. I really don't think Golden State, even though you would think they should, you would think Steve Kerr is like, let's end it now. We got old team. We need everyone to get their rest. I really just don't see them coming out with like the necessary attention to detail needed to win to close out a team on their home court. But regardless of that happening in Game 4, I think we both agree that this magical run for Luka is about done. And now that it's nearing its end, I have a new comp for you. All right, we talked about it. A lot of people have talked about it, comparing Luka in this run at 23 to LeBron in 07, right? But I got another comp for you. A 23-year-old superstar that led his team to the finals, not named LeBron. Kevin Durant. Super offensive force, did it with OKC. Yes, he had Russell Westbrook, which is a lot more than Jalen Brunson. But we're talking about, at that point, just supremely offensive, talented guys in Luka and KD. KD wasn't nearly as engaged as he became in Golden State. And Luka, we know about him on defense. But how do you feel about that comparison?
I think it's beautiful that you mentioned it, man. It's a little talked about comp, but it's very important, right? Because Kevin Durant, from the time he stepped into this league, he's looked like a grown man, even though very skinny. You know what I mean? So we forget that he was very ripe at 23 when he came in and made it all the way to the finals with that young OKC team. And you go back through the roster, right? It's star-studded. However, not at that time, right? This is early in a lot of those guys' careers. You know, we're talking about Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, if you want to throw him in there. Kendrick Perkins was the starting center. Like, not to say that, you know what I'm saying, he was an all-star, right? But Big Perk had just won a championship with the Celtics not too long before that. He was a respected center in the league, right? And you go down the list, you have guys who did their part to get them there. And they did, it wasn't 4-2, I believe it was 4-1, but was it 4-2 that they lost to LeBron and them in the finals?
In the finals? I think it was 4-1.
I believe it was
gentleman's sweep.
Gentleman's sweep. So my point to say all that is to say this: at a ripe 23, where he's the leader, basically the oldest guy on the team for the most part, right? Makes it all the way to the finals, and they actually win a game. They don't just get swept, you know? And let's be honest, right? If there's someone to get swept by, it's Bron. You know, LeBron got swept by the Spurs. Okay, it was the Spurs. But KD played the Heatles, right? And he didn't get swept. So very, very important comparison that you made. KD is the man. Luka's going on a similar run, but the interesting part about it is Luka can do a lot more than KD can on the. That sounds weird coming out of my mouth, but he can. He can impact the game, not just in terms of scoring, but in playmaking as well.
That's true, and I think that's why people uttered that LeBron name first. But I think we gotta temper that down because while Luka may, and there's a slim chance, I'm going to say it's very slim, get there at one point. I think it's a little premature for us to evoke that. So,
Yep.
Another angle here. Props to Golden State, man. When Clay went down, when KD left, they didn't just sit on their butts. Like, they didn't just wait around. They drafted young guys and they developed them. And now all of those young guys, every single one of them that they've kept, has been a huge help for them this year as they make it to another finals. So the Jordan Pooles, the Kevon Looney's, even though he's a 10-year vet, he still got developed. Kuminga, who looks like in 3 years he's going to be their new Draymond Green. Like, it's something San Antonio-ish going on in Golden State.
Yeah, you said it. And again, right, we can't forget Steve Kerr, at the end of the day, right, he might not have been the best basketball player during his playing careers, but won championships with Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson and won championships with Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich, right? Those are two of the greatest dynasties in history, right? So a couple of things are going to rub off on you. And both of those coaches, again, the triangle is a little bit more, it's not star-oriented per se, but it is more star-oriented than Greg Popovich's style of play. But again, both very offensive-minded ball movement styles of play where it's not about one guy to get their own, but everyone will get theirs at the end of the game. So you said it, man. We're talking about 6 finals in the last 9 years, right? Or about to be 6 finals in the last 9 years. So that's something to be proud of for sure, you know?
Yeah, and Dallas should be taking notes right now. They should be learning a lesson from how Golden State has built a team. Because they looked at Steph Curry. They looked at Steph Curry and said, okay, this is what he's good at. This is what he's bad at. He is a small guard, a frail guard, and he's not a great defender. So we're not going to get not one single person that is not a good defender.
Yeah.
And they stuck to it. Dallas has not gone that route. They got Bertans. They got an undersized number 2 in Brunson. They got other guys that just aren't really good defenders. So I think that's a model Dallas should really try to employ because Luka's not going to become a great defender. That's just not realistic to ask or expect from him. Like, he does a lot. He is a hub, a freight train, everything that you could ever want in an offensive player, and that is enough if you make it.
Yeah. You're 100% right, man. But the one thing about this Dallas roster, right, is without like a superstar or somewhat perennial all-star as the number 2 option in Dallas, they're going to need to beef up that front court. That front court is weak, man. You mentioned it. Not only are they not defensive players in that front court, just not very good. You know what I mean? And on top of that, they're undersized, right? And honestly, it's kind of a shame that they're relying 30 and 40 minutes from guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and I can't even think of this cat's name right now. I'll get back to it, but we'll continue. Dorian, nah, Reggie Bullock is who I was thinking of.
Oh yeah, the
44
two.
minutes in game two. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked a lot like a Nick last night, and the 0-10, is it 0-7?
Something like that. Man.
Whatever.
Well, he had 21
0-10.
points that night, but
Oh,
game
okay,
two.
yeah. It's game three I'm talking about with the 0-10, and yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, they got his ass out of there. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. 40 minutes, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 0 points. Wow. Yeah, man. We say all that to say this Dallas Mavericks squad, that Luka needs some help for sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
facts. All right, shifting down to the next series in the Eastern Conference, we got Miami Heat versus Boston. And it's a 2-2 series at the time we're recording this. But I got to say, after watching game four in Boston absolutely demolished the Miami Heat. I got to say, if Miami wins this series, it's because Boston choked. Jason or Jalen got hurt or they choked. That's the only way Miami Heat should win this series. Like, Boston is clearly the better team. They clearly have the better players. And if Miami wasn't the one seed giving them the easiest route to this point, I don't think they'd still be playing basketball games.
You're 100% right, because if the roles were reversed and the Heat played the Milwaukee Bucks, it'd be a completely different conversation that we're having right now. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I mean, like, just look at the quarter by quarter numbers. Out of 16 quarters played right now, Boston has won or tied 13 of the 16.
man, and isn't that crazy that it's only taken the Heat 3 quarters to win 2 games and in this series be tied off? That's something you got to think about as well.
How bad they've been in those 3 quarters, but yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah.
Boston should not lose this series.
Sorry, bro. Go ahead. Finish that point.
I was gonna say all they have to do is like bring it defensively and not be horrific from 3, and they're gonna win basketball games.
Yeah. No, I mean, bro, you said it. You hit the nail on the head, right? Barring an injury from one of their 2 major stars, or them absolutely just choking, right? It's their series to lose. The Heat, again, based on their regular season record, has gone to where they've gotten based on their matchups. It's been, like you said, the easiest road so far. Dude, it's the Celtics to lose, man. It's definitely theirs to win. So let's see what they do.
Yeah, and the only reason I didn't annihilate Miami when this series started is because I still had a sliver of hope that Bam Adebayo could be the Bam from the bubble. And he's showed us now, this is not a small sample size anymore, that he is not capable of being the second scorer at least this year. Yeah. 13 points, I think it is he's averaging this year. It's something like that. It's just not good enough. Like, he's not aggressive. The one game he's played well is when Robert Williams was hurt. Like, it's Grant Williams and Al Horford. You should be able to do something with that. But
yeah. No, you said it. And again, not to say that it's this Heat culture, but it is the Heat culture, right? We love it during the regular season because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's getting that 25, 20-point ball game, right? At the end of the day, they're getting W's and they're racking them up with the quickness, right? But come playoff time, you need your stars to be in rhythm. You need your stars to be in motion. Like someone like Jimmy Butler, we'd never expect him to score 6 points in a game that can put them up 3-1 on the way to the freaking finals, right? 6 points. A bunch of guys perform very poorly. Like, it's not something that you'd expect from this squad, but I mean, hey, we've seen a lot of surprises this year so far, you know?
Speaking of surprises and poor performances, we got to give a shout to my boy Struce, who put up the Tony Snell stat line with the zeros across the board. Yo, 15 minutes. My man started the basketball game and finished with zeros. Now, to his credit, zeros did include the turnovers, but that is still awful. Like, you only played 15 minutes as a starter because you were putting up zeros. Like,
you played so bad they took your ass out the game and did not put you back in. They're like, I'm having a change of heart right now.
Yeah, Pat Riley was yanking his ass from the press box.
Seriously, dude. Gave a bunch of minutes to Gabe Vincent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gave everybody minutes after that.
And Kyle Lowry, man, you just fleeced these guys. How much are they paying you again? Like 1 for
Bro,
6, 3 points, and that's just like you don't even bat an eye because it doesn't surprise you. Ugh.
Tyler, I've been waiting for a long time to hold on to this like trade idea, and although we're not talking about this at all, and we're very far away from any trades going down, right? I've been thinking about this for a long time, bro. The perfect move, and it would benefit both of these franchises. They both get paid the same amount. They both play the same position in the opposite roles. They'd both thrive. I'm thinking Kyle Lowry for Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would be definitely a great move for the Heat. I think the Lakers at least benefit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. You might want to throw.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? You might want to throw a pick in with Kyle Lowry. I don't know, just because of Russell's name. I don't even know if you even need to justify it that way. You know?
I don't think you do. Wow. Well, Russell still makes more than Kyle Lowry because Russell's contract is like $48 million or something like. It just makes you laugh when you see the number. But I actually like that trade a lot.
Isn't it Heat? Bro,
I guess the only question would be is does Russell Westbrook qualify for Heat culture or good Heat culture? Like we know he has the passion, the intensity, but is it overboard? I don't know.
Dog, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I say that is, right, the Heat's whatever body fat percent rule, right? Russ fits in there. You know what I'm saying? All of them dressed like fairies. Now I'm playing. But nah, dude, honestly, I think that would be a great basketball move. You know what I'm saying? Both cities are very similar. The weather's great, you know? Neither guy has to really give up. And I think, honestly, it would be the thing to completely change this back end of Russell Westbrook's career and redo his image, man, because I think he's getting painted unfairly, man, and it's going to have a mark on his legacy, you know?
Yeah, man, the Russell Westbrook slander was at an all-time high this year, and he's always been criticized. Like, going back to that run we talked about where KD made it at 23 to the finals, like, Skip Bayless was calling him out his name then. Like, Russell Westbrook's been in the Heat. And I don't know. It's interesting. It feels like he's over the hill. I think most would agree on that. But you never know. You get him in the right culture, the right system with some coaches that believe in him. I don't see why he couldn't turn it back around.
Yeah, I think he has a lot to contribute, and maybe, again, not even as the first option, but I don't think as the fourth option either. I think he can be a solid second or third option on a team. Just the fit wasn't right. I mean, LeBron and Russell Westbrook, they're basically...
When you get Russell that far back in a role, it's just his game doesn't lend to that, right? If you take the aggression out of a player that's plays like a Sonic the Hedgehog, like it's like telling Sonic the Hedgehog not to run. Like what do you want him to do then?
There's no other options. Like,
yeah.
But we got far off topic. With that being said, though, man, we all think that this Miami-Boston series is surprisingly much closer than it should be. The best team, I think, will win, which is the Boston Celtics. But we just got to see. You can never count the Miami Heat down. They have a great coach, going to be a Hall of Fame coach in Eric Spoelstra, championship DNA. So let's see what he could do, man. And at the end of the day, Jimmy Butler is a killer. I expect this Boston Celtics team to put it away in 6. But, let's not count the Heat out just yet.
Yeah. They still have the option of someone getting crazy hot. And those 3 options, because I don't think Victor Oladipo is going to have enough minutes to do it. But my 3 options are Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and still, I regret saying it, but Bam Adebayo. If Bam can figure out a way to turn back the clock, just find some aggression, and I think he's more than capable of doing it. Tyler Hero, he just has to go nuts. Like, he's got a deep bag, and he just has to get busy. Duncan Robinson just has to, like, knock down shots. Boston's not going to sleep on him, but he can still get his shot off. He's 6'9", 6'8".
Yeah, bro. And again, let's not sleep on Depot, right? They gave him 30 minutes last game. He was the best player on the court for the Heat by far. The only person in double digits, definitely the only person with 20 points. Oh, no, sorry. There were a couple other guys, Duncan Robinson and Caleb Martin. But still, We can't. You mentioned all those guys. They have the potential to go off. Let's just see what they're able to do with the opportunity that they're given. You know.
Yeah, and I guess like Victor, he only got those minutes because it was such a blowout. But you gotta like Strus is giving you nothing. He's throwing up Tony Snell's. Like I know they're just starting him. Yeah, they're starting him and not playing him that much. But I don't know. I would consider starting Oladipo.
So me and Ty, we were talking about it a little bit before the show started, right? And I don't know if you guys heard, but there's some big news coming up in the offseason, right? And this is not about a player, you know what I'm saying? It's not about a specific offseason drama, you know? But it's regarding like a big move and some expansion in the NBA, man. Ty, you want to touch on it for us, bro?
Yeah, now I'm going to qualify by just saying it's rumors right now. But I really think these have some legs to it, okay? For the first time since 2004, the NBA is considering expansion teams. Yes. It was the Raptors and Grizzlies in 95, and the rumor is Seattle and Las Vegas will be your next NBA cities after their media right deals expire in 2024. 32 teams. How does that sound?
Honestly, has a nice little ring to it. You know what I'm saying? Let's not go crazy here, but I think 33 adding a team back to New Jersey and let's cap it off. It's beautiful. You know what I mean?
Hey, man,
Shoot,
I'm here for it, too.
You know, if you want to go crazy, add another conference, the East, the West, and the Middle, you know? 11 teams in each, you know? Nah, man, I'm playing,
man.
but
NBA,
cool.
Adam Silver's got a lot of ideas. You know, he won't give up on this midseason tournament. He did put in the play-in tournament, which is nice. I think we've all liked that. But 2 teams is something I think everyone would get behind. Like, if you just look at the talent in the G League, you say, okay, there's enough. You look at the talent overseas. Some of our favorite college players never make it to the NBA. And that tells you that we are at an all-time high. I mean, the product on the court tells you that too, but we are at an all-time high in talent. So that they are considering this and that it looks like it could really happen, I think is a phenomenal idea. And that they're doing Seattle, who's been missing the Sonics for a long time now. It would create another Charlotte Hornets situation, right? Where it was like they had the Bobcats, then their team left, and now the Hornets aren't the old Hornets. It gets a little confusing, but I don't know. I think it'd still be cool nonetheless.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. And yeah, that situation gets me every time. So it's basically the Charlotte Bobcats became the Charlotte Hornets after the New Orleans Hornets became the New Orleans Pelicans. But yeah, man, no, I'm here for it, bro. And you said it, the talent definitely justifies the expansion. There are guys itching right now. There are big name guys in the G League right now. There are big name guys who are in the back of rosters at the end of benches, you know what I'm saying, where they're not really getting a chance to shine, bro. Obviously, you know, a lot of these G leaguers are going to get a chance, but basically, you know, an expansion draft would happen, and a lot of these guys on the back end of these rosters are going to get their chance to shine on a team for real, you know. And there's going to be some losing and some bruises and some beating up on the way, but hey, that's what the game of basketball is all for, you know.
Facts. And it's not like there aren't teams tanking to try to be as bad as they are right now. And usually when they do put in a new team, right, like Firas was mentioning, you claim guys, right? So every team has to claim, let's say, 8 of their 12 active roster members, and then the rest are thrown in a player pool where teams get the drafts. Obviously, the new teams get the best picks. But they also usually institute things where for the next 3 years, they're going to get a top 5 draft pick guaranteed. And man, I would just love to see, like, I think of so many guys. Miles Powell is sticking in my brain right now. He had a crazy run for Seton Hall. He was just bouncing around with the Knicks G League. He played a couple games when everyone got COVID for the Sixers. Like, he's a bucket. I know he'd be a problem. People like, who is it on the Knicks that was something with Alonzo Trier. I'm sorry. I know I'm talking
Yeah.
But Alonzo Trier is another guy, like, yo, come back, come get some buckets in the NBA again, man. Like, I don't know. It'd just be good to see.
I started laughing because there was a trend you were going on there. There's a whole heap of Knicks guys. I was like, damn, man. Ty is really, he's ride or die whether he realizes it or not, man. He said, I'm a Knickerbocker through and through, man. Don't play with it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that you saw that draft lottery. I was like, oh. I was like, maybe they'll give us payback. We had the worst record in the Zion draft, and we got the 3 pick. Maybe,
Yeah.
there's this new system where anyone could get the first pick. Nah, y'all getting 11. Like,
Yeah, bro, that's just mean. That is just not nice at all, man. The Knicks, man, they definitely need to be in that top 5 spot, you know?
Damn shame.
Yep.
All right, that's going to do it. Another episode of the Hoop Plug in the books. Firas, any final thoughts?
Nah, man, just like always, guys, really appreciate y'all rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to follow us on all our social medias. Instagram, hoop_plug_, hoop plug on YouTube, hoop plug on Facebook. Everywhere you go, it's hoop plug, baby. Put some flavor in your ear.
Peace.
Peace.